12-year-old Maya Johnson clutched her boarding pass tightly as she walked down the narrow airplane aisle. Her neat braids bounced with each step, and her bright yellow backpack stood out against the sea of business travelers. She was flying alone to visit her grandmother in Chicago, her first solo trip. Flight attendant Ruth Williams watched Maya approach with narrowed eyes and a twisted smile. Well, Ruth said loudly, blocking Maya's path to seat 14A. Look what we have here. Are you sure you're on the right flight, little girl? This isn't a charity bus. Maya's cheeks burned with embarrassment, but she held up her ticket politely. Excuse me, ma'am. This is my seat. Ruth snatched the ticket roughly, examining it with exaggerated suspicion. Seat 14A. That's a window seat. Pretty expensive for someone like you. She emphasized the last word with disgust. Several passengers shifted uncomfortably in their seats, whispering among themselves. An elderly white man in 12B frowned deeply at Ruth's behavior, while a young mother covered her child's ears, clearly disturbed by the flight attendant's cruel tone. 20 minutes into the flight, Ruth returned with the beverage cart, her cruelty far from finished. She served everyone around Maya with exaggerated politeness, then stopped directly at the young girl's row with a smirk. Oh, I forgot. Do you even have money for drinks? Ruth asked mockingly. Maybe you should have packed your own juice box from home. Maya looked up calmly, her dark eyes showing remarkable composure. No thank you, ma'am. I brought my own water. She pulled out a small bottle and a medical textbook from her backpack. I'm studying to become a doctor like my mom. She's a cardiologist at Cook Memorial Hospital. Ruth's face twisted with disbelief. Sure you are, sweetheart. Next you'll tell me you can perform surgery too. The businessman in 15C had heard enough. He stood up, his voice firm. Miss, this is completely inappropriate. This child deserves respect. Other passengers began nodding in agreement, their murmurs growing louder with each passing moment. Suddenly, a loud commotion erupted from the cockpit. The airplane lurched violently to one side, causing passengers to grip their armrests in terror. The co-pilot's panicked voice crackled over the intercom. Medical emergency in the cockpit. Is there a doctor on board? I repeat, we need medical assistance immediately. Ruth dropped her beverage cart with a thunderous crash, sending cans rolling down the aisle. Her face went pale as she stumbled toward the front of the plane. Through the open cockpit door, passengers could see Captain Davis slumped over the controls, his body motionless and his breathing shallow. He's having a heart attack, shouted co-pilot Jenkins, his hands shaking as he tried to stabilize the aircraft. I can't fly this plane alone and help him at the same time. Chaos filled the cabin. Passengers screamed and prayed as the plane continued its erratic path through turbulent skies. Children cried while adults frantically searched for oxygen masks. Ruth stood frozen in the doorway, her earlier confidence completely shattered. Someone help him! She screamed, but her voice cracked with helplessness. Please, somebody do something. The airplane shuddered again, and emergency lights began flashing ominously throughout the cabin. Without hesitation, Maya unbuckled her seatbelt and rushed forward, pushing past the frozen Ruth. Her small hands gripped her medical textbook tightly as she squeezed into the cramped cockpit space. I can help, Maya announced with surprising authority. My mom taught me CPR and basic cardiac emergency procedures. Co-pilot Jenkins looked skeptical but desperate. Kid, this is serious. The captain is dying. Maya knelt beside Captain Davis, quickly checking his pulse at his neck and wrist. No pulse, no breathing. I need to start chest compressions now. She positioned her hands correctly on the captain's chest, just as her mother had shown her countless times during their practice sessions. 1, 2, 3, 4, Maya counted aloud, pumping rhythmically with remarkable precision. Her small frame put all its strength into each compression. Come on, Captain Davis. Stay with us. After 30 compressions, she tilted his head back and gave 2 rescue breaths. The co-pilot watched in amazement as this 12-year-old girl worked with the skill of a trained professional. Keep flying the plane. Maya shouted over the engine noise. I've got him. Find the nearest airport for an emergency landing. Captain Davis suddenly gasped, his eyes fluttering open as color returned to his face. Captain Davis stabilized quickly, able to assist with the emergency landing at the nearest airport. As paramedics rushed aboard, every passenger erupted in thunderous applause for Maya. The same businessman from earlier lifted her onto his shoulders, declaring her a true hero. Ruth stood in stunned silence, watching the girl she had mocked now surrounded by grateful passengers and news reporters. Airport security escorted Ruth away after multiple passengers filed complaints about her discriminatory behavior. You saved my life, young lady, Captain Davis said weakly, shaking Maya's hand. Your mother raised an extraordinary daughter. Maya smiled humbly. Everyone deserves help when they need it, sir. The incident made national headlines. Ruth lost her job and faced legal consequences, while Maya received a scholarship to medical school. Most importantly, the airline implemented new anti-discrimination training for all employees. Sometimes the smallest acts of courage create the biggest changes, proving that hope and justice can triumph over hatred and prejudice.